keep us going for a bit, eh?
Eh? No.
Something up?
Well, I was just thinking what I've got to show for my life, William.
Well, if I felt like that, I'd never get up in the morning.
9 grand my mother left, eh? Not much to show for a lifetime of service and hard work, is it?
Yeah, but you can't judge your life by cash, can you? I mean, come on, look at us. Free as the birds, yeah? Masters of our own destiny. We've only got one way to go, up. There must be millionaires that swap places with us.
You know, I meant what I said about putting money into the business. I mean, I reckon when my mother's estate's settled, I'm going to be up for about 4.5K.
Aye. Well, we'll see what happens, eh? Right now, we've got a loft conversion to get on with.
Not the best way of impressing your new boss, is it? Turning in late?
If you're going to give me earache about that all day, you could just be on dodgy ground. I'm not in the mood.
No, neither was I. But it didn't stop Sally, did it? She's still annoyed at me for not mentioning Don Brennan's offer. It's not fallen through, has it? He's not found himself another partner.
He hasn't, no. But it seems like Fiona has.
Hey?
She's been visiting Steve MacDonald, hasn't she, in the clink?
Well, she's a friend of his. And from what I hear, he's not got many of them at the moment.
Well, it's none of my business anymore.
You've not finished with her because of that.
Look, if he's more important to her than I am...
Come on. Whatever it was between Fiona and Steve was over ages ago.
Then why's she been lying to me about where she's been going? How would you feel, Kev, if Sal had been seeing someone she'd had a relationship with without a word to you?
Couldn't wait for summer holidays when I were at school. I expect it's the same for teachers.
Certainly be ready for the break.
Will you be going away at all? Only it's something we haven't talked about.
No.
Only I'd like a week off at some point. Go camping with my mates. Only to Wales, but we have a good laugh. We've not talked about dates yet, so I'll be able to fit in with you.
Leave that for a minute, Curry. I need to talk to you.
Told you I would take it.
Just shows you how wrong you can be about someone. I mean, I thought I knew Tony. I thought he'd understand once he saw the pressure I was under.
Whose fault's that? Look, why don't you tell Tony it's finished? No more prison visiting. How much longer will you let Steve MacDonald ruin your life? Because he is doing it at the moment, even if he is behind bars. Go on, just ring Tony.
If anyone makes the first move, it certainly is not going to be me. He was the one that dumped me, remember?
Fine. If you're happy for him to just walk out your life without even lifting a finger.
How can I ring him without him getting the idea that I'm the one that's in the wrong? That he can tell me what I can and who I can't say. I'm not having Tony or anyone else telling me how to run my life.
Steve MacDonald seems to be doing a pretty good job of it at the moment.
I'm sorry, believe me, but I just can't afford to keep you on.
Would it help if I went back for the summer? I mean, you'll be here to look after Daniel.
It's not a short-term problem, I'm afraid. And even if it were, I couldn't expect you to hang around until I needed you again.
It won't bother me. I could take something temporary for the summer, and as I say, I'm going away with my friends.
Still wouldn't be able to take you back in September.
What are you going to do with Daniel?
Well, I'll just have to get him into a nursery.
That'll cost you.
Well, that's not something you need to worry about. That's my problem.
Is it something I've done or something I've said?
No, it's nothing to do with you personally. I still can't believe how lucky I was to have found you when I did. And I couldn't wish for anyone better to look after Daniel. He's going to miss you. I just wish I could find a way round it. But I can't. I'm sorry.
Thanks See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
I thought Mrs. Pearson had cancelled.
Oh, she did about half an hour ago.
So why is it still in the book?
Because I haven't had time to cross it out yet. I'll do it when I finish with Mrs. Grimshaw.
Don't bother. Take it you'll be all right for 5 minutes?
Right, cheers for that.
You know that, Jim? You learnt now. Yeah.
Liz?
What?
I've caught you. A wee word. Listen, it's about this visit to Steve on Wednesday. I can't make it, so I can't.
Why?
Well, it's the job we're on. It takes 2 of us, and we've got to get it done. So, look, can you make sure you're there?
Well, after. We can't both let him down, can we?
Good. I don't want him thinking I've given up on him. Will you explain that to him?
I'll do that. Anyway, I'm glad I've seen you. I need a word with you.
All right.
About the house. Look, we've got to get it sorted out sooner or later.
You mean selling it?
Not exactly, no. I'd like to buy out your share.
I see.
All fair and square, I'll get a proper valuation. Well?
Well, I don't suppose you want me under the same roof again, do you?
No.
You know, it's funny, isn't it? I've always hoped I'd have a wee bit of cash in my back pocket. Now it looks as if it's going to happen. My share of the house. Bit of money my mother's left me. Yep, when all's said and done, I'd trade it all if I could turn the clock back.
We can't.
No. So you've got to do what you've got to do, Liz?
I'll be in touch.
Yeah.
MVV Motors?
It's me, Maxine.
Yes, Maxine.
Pleased with yourself, are you?
Hey?
You know what I'm talking about. Fiona has had a terrible weekend.
Oh, no, I haven't, I suppose.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Me? I'm the one she's been having for a mug.
You don't want it to end like this, do you? Because she certainly doesn't. If you'll only talk to her.
Is that what she wants?
If you want to get back with her, you know what you've got to do.
Ashley, if he says he can't afford it, who am I to argue?
He's got a good job. He gets good pay.
Not enough to keep me on.
Well, what are you going to do?
Find another job, quick as I can.
You could try one of them posh families out Wimslow Way. No, like where your cousin works.
It might not be living in. Might not even be working with children.
That's what you're trained for.
And if I can't, what am I going to do for money? First chance I get, I'll take anything, till something better comes along.
What about us?
Us? It won't make any difference to us.
Well, when we want to see each other?
There'll be lots of times.
I mean, where?
Well, I'm not planning on emigrating. I'll be at home, won't I?
Oh, fat lot of use that's going to be.
What?
Well, I can't see your mum let me stop the night there.
I've lost my job. I don't know what's going to happen to me, and all you're worried about is rumpy pumpy. I don't believe this.
Well, it must have crossed your mind.
No, Ashley, it hadn't. And I didn't expect it to be the first thing on yours. I rung you because I thought you were my best mate and I'd get some sympathy from you.
Well, yeah. But physical side of a relationship is important, Uncle Fred said.
Oh, and he's the expert, of course.
He does all right.
Well, it's nice to know where your priorities are. Next job I get offered, I won't even consider unless you've got visiting rights.
So it looks as though you might be getting a new boss then.
News certainly travels quick round here, doesn't it?
No need to ask where that came from, mate.
Dom.
Yeah. Who else?
Gonna take a bit of getting used to, that is, Kev, working for your old mucker.
No, can't see it's going to make that much difference.
Don't you believe it? You tell him having none of it, son. Don't let him pull rank on you. You start the way you mean to go on.
Works with Vera, eh, Jack?
Yes, pal.
Maybe he should have gone for a garage. Snapped on Bremen's hand off.
But I thought you said it didn't make sense.
It doesn't, but you tried selling that Sal.
I thought she got it all out of the system the first time.
Yeah, well, she hasn't, has she? You know, I'm beginning to think the only way round it is to go for it. Show her how we'll end up, then maybe she'll believe me.
But you won't?
No, because I'm too sensible, aren't I? Why can't she just be happy with what she's got, Dad?
Because she's ambitious for you.
Yeah, well, I don't want anyone to be ambitious for me. I've got a job I like doing. Well, most of the time, anyway. We've got a roof over our head. OK, we've not got money to chuck around, but we don't want for anything. There's thousands of people out there who'd swap places with me.
Me for one.
Yeah, so am I right then, or what?
Look, don't drag me into this, Kev. It's between you and Sally. But I'll tell you something for now. You just be glad that she's interested. If my missus had been half the wife that Sally is, I wouldn't be in the situation that I am now.
It's over. Good riddance. I'm sorry I heard of Mayfield Court.
Oh, so I went through all that humiliation for nothing.
Look, where's it going to get us if we go on with it, eh? There'll be more protest, more bad feeling. That's not the way I want it, not the way at all.
Lovey, you have practically given your life to this town. Now, you deserve it. You can't give in to a bunch of hooligans.
Well, I call it a tactical withdrawal. This way I keep some dignity.
Oof, well, I'm glad you think so.
Charlie not here yet? They phoned up before. Told me to tell you, so hang on here for him.
would you credit it, eh? Supposed to be here to talk about the opportunity of a lifetime, and he finds something more important to do.
I think it'd be better if we talked upstairs.
I can listen just as well down here, thank you.
Listen.
Yeah, to what you've got to say.
I thought it were you who had something to say.
You were the one that stormed out.
Yeah, and whose fault was that?
Oh, mine. Of course it was. I mean, I should have known better than to expect to be open with you, eh? So that you'll understand the situation that I was in.
You got me here to say that?
Me? I didn't ask you to come.
I just thought if I could just get you together that...
Got nothing more to say to her.
I certainly haven't got anything to say to him.
Thanks a lot, Maxine. Just what is it you got between those ears of yours? Cotton wool? Because it certainly ain't a brain.
Just thought if I could just get you to talk...
Do you like being unemployed? Because you stick your nose into my personal business once more, you'll be out that door so fast you'll be able to see the scorch marks.
So they're not exactly seeing eye to eye at the moment?
No. No thanks to that son of yours.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I'm sorry, Audrey. I think Al's right.
Yeah, well, I expected you to take his side, Rita.
But it's not worth it, is it? What's the point in letting Lily Dempsey and her mates drag you down to their level?
So I just walk away after the way they showed me up.
It was themselves they showed up, behaving like that.
Just goes against the grain, letting them get away with it. Still, it's the way of the world, I suppose. Those that kick up enough din are the ones that get heard. Old-fashioned politeness and manners go for naught these days.
Present company accepted, I take it.
See ya.
Well, look who it is.
You owe me, lady. I saw who threw that egg.
So did a lot of folk, and they couldn't stop thanking me.
Well, you'll be very pleased to know my suit's ruined.
Not the only one you've got, surely. All you ever seem to do is go shopping.
Just a minute.
It's our lives that'll be ruined. Our Mayfield Court if they lumber them flats with your husband's name. But it's not going to happen. We are not going to be steamrolled into anything. Not without a fight.
Oh, and you can certainly fight, can't you, eh? Like a load of flaming alley cats.
Worse. You've seen nothing yet.
Well, I'm glad somebody finds it amusing.
It's not egg on her suit that's bothering her. It's egg on her face she's left with.
Do you think Mr. Barlow's being straight with me?
Well, what do you mean?
When he said he couldn't afford it. I mean, he can't be on a bad wage and he didn't seem to spend much.
Well, why would he say it if it wasn't true?
I thought it was just an excuse to try and get rid of me. Because he didn't think I was doing my job properly.
Oh, come on.
He's not said anything to you, has he?
No. Look, whatever else Ken Barlow is as straight as they come. If he had any complaints about your work, he would have told you.
I knew I wouldn't be with Mr. Barlow forever. But I thought I'd be looking after Daniel until he went to school. And when that time came, I'd be prepared for it. Why does life have to be so cruel?
Oh, well, yeah, it does seem that way at times. Hey, we all have setbacks, you know, and we get over them, eventually. Oh, Kelly, you'll find another job. Hey, you're great with children. And I'm sure Ken's going to give you a good reference. Hey, you see, you've got a lot going for you when you think about it.
I've got this feeling the garage is really going places.
Yeah, so you've said.
See, Josie was never really interested, but Tony is young, he's ambitious, he knows what he's doing.
I think you made your point, Don.
Yeah, well, you've missed a great opportunity there, Kev, lad. Still, your decision. Yeah. About time. I was beginning to give up on you.
Jack, when you're ready. Right. How'd you get on?
How do you think?
Anyway, you're here now, that's all that matters.
Look, if it's about the garage, it'll have to wait. I'm not in the mood.
Eh?
It'll have to wait.
We haven't given up on the idea.
No, I'll talk to you later.
When?
After work. I'll go around to your place.
Well, there's no point in me being here now, is there?
Right, lads, what can I do for you?
2 pints, Jack, please.
After work.
Don't think he's too chuffed with you, mate.
Well, that's his problem.
Of course, it's obvious what it's about. Fiona seeing Steve.
Oh, that's why he's got a face like thunder, is it? Now's Fiona taking it.
She was cool enough.
Well, it's not bothered you, has it? That's for sure.
I didn't wish it on them. Of course I didn't. But if Tony and Fiona have split up, she's far more likely to carry on seeing Steve, isn't she? It ain't going to be a problem.
No, well, I'm sorry, Mum, but I can't agree with you. I mean, the longer she keeps going, the more he's getting the wrong idea.
What wrong idea? She's going to see him as a friend.
Nothing more.
No.
And that's the way Steve's going to see it. She'll never be waiting for him, you know, when he gets out of there. Not after what he did to her.
I never said she was. But the last thing our Steve needs right now is for her to turn her back on him. I do feel sorry for Tony. Steve is family.
And what about Fiona, eh? You thought how she might feel about all this?
Now look, if you think I'd do anything to hurt Fiona...
No, Mum, you wouldn't. Well, not knowingly. I mean, you like the girl. You've made that very clear. You'll have to stop using her. Because if you don't, she's not going to thank you for it.
George Urquhart, Planning Committee.
Chairman, actually. I think we have met at the town hall. Nice to see you again, Mrs. Roberts.
Hello, Mr. Urquhart.
Oh, George, please.
So go on, George. Tell her why you're here.
Well, I came to apologise in the first place.
Apologise?
Yeah, for all this bother we had down at Mayfield Court.
Oh.
Yes, our fault entirely. If we'd done our homework properly, we'd have known the depth of local feeling. As it was, well, quite frankly, the local reaction took us totally by surprise.
So you're accepting total responsibility, is that what you're saying?
That's right.
So I can claim for a new suit from the council?
That's not in my remit, I'm afraid.
Whose remit is it? Because someone's got to pay for it, and it's no good trying to get anything out of Lily Dempsey.
Can you just listen to what George has got to say, love?
Well, I've had a word with your husband, Mrs. Roberts, and happily we're of a similar mind. We both think that the sooner this whole business is forgotten, the better.
Well, you're not going to let that mob get away with it. Oh, wow. If you've not agreed to that...
listen, love?
The intention is to honour your husband for the contribution he's made to the quality of life in this town. Now, nobody wants his name on a building against the wishes of the residents.
Me least of all.
Oh, well, you've made that perfectly clear.
It would be totally against the spirit of the award, so we've looked at various alternatives, and we think that the most fitting tribute to dedicate a thoroughfare in Alf's name.
A road?
Yeah, I can have any road I like in Weatherfield named after me. You know, I could have Ashfield Road, Victoria Street, Festival Mile.
Subject to council approval, of course.
Oh, well, Festival Mile seems a good idea.
Yeah, well, there's no traffic down there. It's pedestrians only.
Yes, and if you could get your little plaque stuck in the pavement, I mean, that would be perfect.
Do you think so, love?
Well, you've let people walk over you nearly all your life, Alf. Now they'll be able to walk over you forever.
Oh, Ken? I saw Kelly and she was very upset.
I've got no choice.
She says you're going to put Daniel into a nursery school.
Well, that's one option.
Well, it's not cheap, Ken, and then there's the inconvenience. You're going to have to take him every morning, pick him up every night. And what happens when you have to stay late at school?
Well, like I said, that's one option. I've got this summer to look into it.
Well, whatever answer you come up with, it's going to cost you, isn't it? And is it going to be any cheaper than Kelly? Because it certainly won't be as convenient.
Look, Sally, I appreciate your concern for Kelly.
No, it's not just for Kelly, it's for all of you. Well, I just want to make sure that you've thought it through before you let her go.
Well, yes, I have. A bit late, I know, but I mean, I was really relieved when I found someone like Kelly, but I just didn't know what I was getting into, not in the long term. I mean, I started out paying her weekly wages I could ill afford, then when she moved in, all the bills went up. Add those onto my other outgoings, mortgage, pension, car, you know, I mean, you begin to get the picture.
Well, if you could explain that to her, I think it would help her to understand.
How can I discuss my financial situation with a girl I used to teach? I mean, don't you think I feel embarrassed enough?
I'm sorry, that's insensitive of me. You obviously know what's best.
Well, I know I've screwed things up and let Daniel down. I don't feel too happy about that.
Drink?
No, thanks.
Look, I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for the cash, I wouldn't consider another partner. But needs must, and there's no one that I'd be happier and honest with than you.
Oh, that's why you asked Kev first.
Well, I felt I had to, give him first refusal. But no. I'm happy with the way things turned out. You're young, you're keen, you've got more enthusiasm than he ever had. We'll end up an ideal double act, you'll see.
If I come in with you.
If? But I thought you'd made your mind up.
I'm not the one who's putting the money up, am I? My dad is.
Oh, so he wants to meet me then, does he?
Oh, you won't have to, he just wants to see the books.
The books?
Go back 12 months.
Oh, well, I haven't been there that long myself.
Yeah, but you'll have a copy of Baldwin's accounts before you took over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got them. I'll get them for you. You want to check them now, do you?
Well, the sooner we get a decision, the better, eh?
Yeah, they're up to date to the end of last month.
Well, I'll let you have them back tomorrow.
What's another day, eh? When you're talking about something that's going to set you up for the rest of your lives.
There's your juice, Rosie. Come on, darling.
Let's get my skates on. Supposed to be at the sports centre for 5:30.
Well, if your football practice is more important than we are.
Well, you knew I was going.
Well, you can at least listen to what I have to say to you while you're here.
I did do. You just said Ken Barlow's getting rid of Kelly. Hey, and I don't want him dropping that kid off round here neither.
Is that all it means to you?
Well, what else?
Kevin, the poor girl's heartbroken. She's been round here all afternoon. She's going to lose a job, a home, Daniel.
She's not the kid's natural mother, Sal. Ken can get rid of her whenever he wants. Same as he took her on. I mean, she must have known when she accepted the job it wasn't going to be a job for life.
Oh, right, so she's just someone to be bought and sold, is she, as the mood takes him? Someone to look after his child, have his meals on the table. Do you know, I might have known you'd see it that way, because you treat me exactly the same.
Oh, come on.
No, don't say you don't. Because as long as you can go off to work, you know that I'm here to do the washing, do the cooking, do the ironing, look after the kids, do the shopping. And as long as you can come home and have your dinner on table, you're more than happy, aren't you?
You're not still going on about that Gary's partnership,
It's not just about that, it's about everything. I'm tied to this house, to you and to these two.
Yeah, well, why can't you just count your blessings, Sal? Take a look around, see the situation other people are in.
Oh, I do, believe me.
Yeah, well, why can't you see how lucky you are? We've got a nice house, 2 smashing kids.
I know that. But there are times when it isn't enough. When I need something a little bit more stimulating than spending all day with those two.
And how do you think I feel? Head stuck under a car bonnet all day, but it's the name of the game, Sal. We've no other choice. I've got to go. The lads will be wondering where I am. Right. You two be good girls for your mum, OK? She's having a rough day. I'll see you later. I'll see you.
Now, did I hear you right? You did say we were eating out.
I did.
Oh, good.
I feel like pushing the boat out. Now we've got that Mayfield Court business settled.
Well, we haven't.
Oh, yes, have you heard what George Urquhart said? I can have any street in Weatherfield named after me.
Oh, and have you chosen one?
Yes, I have. The street where I've been happiest. Behind the counter of that little shop of mine.
Coronation Street.
Aye, Coronation Street.